Hey guys, Realtor Adele, your favorite realtor and investment property strategist. In this month's report, we're not only reviewing home prices and appreciation, we'll look at mortgage interest rates and the housing inventory, as well as take a look at the housing market forecast for 2024. Last year, there was some stagnation in the marketplace that carried over from 2022 as a result of spiked mortgage interest rates and elevated home prices. As you can imagine, those dynamics are not ideal and left some home buyers on the sidelines and opting to put a pause on their home ownership goals. We'll take a deep dive on all of this and also take a look at housing market trends in Metro Atlanta. Home prices have been in the spotlight and the topic of many conversations over the past few years. While the cost of buying a home is nothing new, since it is the main consideration in becoming a homeowner, I think that we can all agree that home prices have been in our periphery due to overall inflation and housing affordability. That said, let's take a look at home values. This chart shows us the 49-year average, or the 49-year average for monthly price movement. So what that means, it just shows us the rate at which home prices appreciate month over month. And this chart is for the last 49 years. Now you will notice a trend if you look at January and February, so the winter months, and then look to the end of the chart toward the fall season and into the start of the winter, you will notice that those numbers differ quite significantly. However, this is not unusual in the industry since winter is usually a slow period in housing or in real estate. And then note that once spring rolls around, the rate at which home values appreciate increases. And of course, the summer months shows an even higher increase in home values as well. And this is because the majority of people do not like moving while it's cold, and also because school is closed. So that is the ideal time during the summer for families to make that move. However, during the winter, there is a bit of a slowdown and home prices still appreciate just at a lower or slower pace. And fun fact or little tip I will give you, the best time to buy a home is during the winter months because there is less activity and you're more likely to get better negotiations, right, with that seller. So that's a little tip for you that you may want to consider purchasing during those winter months. But this chart shows us what the average or the normal rate at which home prices appreciate or have been appreciating over the last 49 years. On the following slide, we will make a comparison to the current home price appreciation rate as it pertains to the 49-year average. Here's the comparison chart that shows us the 49-year average versus the 2023 price movement. So we want to see how home prices are trending, how home price appreciation is trending in regard to what is considered normal. This is important because we do want to stabilize home prices. We do want to get back to a normal market in housing. We all know that over the past few years, home prices have spiked and there's just been a lot of volatility in that regard. So this chart will help us decipher or help us to determine just how far we are from a more normal market in regard to prices. So of course, the dark gray bars are representative for the 49-year average, and the green is for 2023. Now this chart only shows us up to November because that was when the data was released, and that's just the most current data that we have right now. But you will notice if you look at January, so January of 23, that green bar, home prices, or the rate at which home prices appreciate, declined by 0.5%. And again, that's not unusual, I feel, since winter is usually a slow period in real estate. But since February and on through November, well, let's call it October, we have just about been neck and neck. So again, that tells us that home prices are stabilizing and we are seeing more of a normal market in regard to home prices and the rate at which home values appreciate. And November, there was a 0.2% decline. Again, that could be because winter is usually a slower period in housing. And once the data is released for December, then I have a feeling that that number will trend up. But just want to show this or share this with you, since it's very important to be aware of how home prices are trending, because it lets us know if we are coming into a more normal market. Let's take a look at what's going on with mortgage interest rates and how they're trending. Okay, this chart, what determines mortgage interest rate? I have attempted to explain this on previous videos, but here we are. So the spread plus the 10-year treasury yield equals the mortgage interest rate. And why it's always changing, like why are rates always changing, right? Can't we just stick to something that we can all agree on? However, why rates always change is because they are broken up into two parts. Again, you have the spread, you have the 10-year treasury yield equals mortgage interest rate. So the treasury yield, from my understanding, is the annual rate that the government pays on its debt. So that is why that's always changing. And the spread is the difference between the rate and the treasury yield. So the spread is the difference between, the mortgage rate and the treasury yield. However, keep in mind that there are different components involved in what may determine a rate, such as geopolitical activity. We have a lot going on in the world right now, so geopolitical activity is always changing, and that's a greater risk, and that risk is spread around. So yeah, some of it ends up onto consumers. That's just what it is. But so geopolitical and economic trends play a great role in what the interest rate ends up being. Again, just wanted to share this to give you an understanding on how mortgage rates are determined. On the following slides, you will see a very notable quote that is, what do I want to say? A notable quote regarding the spread, and just give you a bit more insight on that. Then after that, I will share current rates from Fannie Mae, and then we will talk about the Atlanta housing market. Let's take a look at housing market trends in Metro Atlanta. So this chart is broken up into two parts. The top part of it is for residential detached, and the lower portion represents attached homes, which are condos and townhomes. We will focus on pending and closed sales, days on market, the average sales price, the percent of list price received. So how much did the seller get? Did they get 100% of their list price, or what percentage of their list price did they receive? And then, of course, month supply of inventory. For pending sales, we're starting with the detached homes. There was just over 2,900, so 2,950. Closed sales were 2,281. Do you see that difference? So let me say something real quick. The homes that were under contract was 2,950. The ones that closed were about 700 less. That means that not all of those that were under contract closed in January. We don't know the reason why. Usually it's because they may have gone under contract mid-January, and the typical time frame for a closing to occur is 30 to 45 days. Even though that process can happen in 2 to 3 weeks, the typical time is usually about a month. So what that means is anyone that went under contract in the middle of January, end of January, there's some time that happens regarding that process. So they will likely close in February or early March. So back to the chart, average days on market 40, average sales price 582,000. List price, the percentage of list price received is just over 98%. So sellers are receiving very close to the asking price. Month supply of inventory is just over 2 months. Now for attached homes, pending was 963. Those closed sales were 662. Days on market 45. Average sales price 404,828. Percentage of list price received 98.3. So just about the same for the detached. Month supply of inventory is at 2.6. Usually the attached homes, there is a greater supply since the preferred home is a detached, right? We don't want those, we don't want to be attached to walls or hearing our neighbors. However, some home buyers do opt to purchase townhomes or condos because they are usually more affordable. To recap, the rate at which home prices appreciate is stabilizing. Prices remain resilient. Nationally, we saw a 5.1% increase in values for 2023, despite a small dip in appreciation during November. Home values are expected to continue on an upward trend in 2024. Rates climbed to around 7% earlier this month, however, are expected to settle to around 6% as the year unfolds. Average sales price for detached homes in Metro Atlanta, $504,582. Attached homes, $404,828. Average days on market is between 40 and 45 days. The month supply of inventory is between 2.2 and 2.6 months. As always, it's my goal to bring you accurate information from trusted sources so that you can make the best decisions for yourself and your families. Do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on this video, share it for anyone that you think may benefit. Until next time, take good care of yourselves, be kind to one another. That's all for now. I'll see you on the next one.